Welcome back to Living Well After 50, mixing vitamins to boost health. Well, get this, over 24,000 Americans hit the ER yearly from supplement misuse.
Wow, 24,000. That's a lot. It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it?
It really does, especially since so many of us, in our 50s and beyond, we're trying to be proactive. We reach for vitamins, minerals, thinking we're doing the right thing.
Absolutely. The intentions are always good. Supporting well-being, trying to stay ahead of things. Supplements feel like a straightforward path for that.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one. Just because they're, natural doesn't mean they all play nicely together in your system.
Exactly. Some combinations can actually cause problems. They might cancel each other out, meaning you don't get the benefit you expect.
Or worse, right? They could build up to toxic levels.
That's a risk, yes. Or they could contribute to some pretty serious health issues, things like heart problems, nerve damage, even dangerous bleeding.
And it's not one size fits all, is it? Especially as our bodies change, just grabbing things off the shelf and mixing them. It could actually sabotage your health goals.
It really could. Your body's this complex system, right? Nutrients interact in really specific ways. Understanding that is key.
So that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to look at some of those supplement combinations that, well, experts warn about.
Yeah, the goal isn't to scare anyone. It's about giving practical insights, helping you take supplements safely and effectively.
Making sure they actually support your health, not undermine it.
Precisely. And hey, if you want to keep up with this kind of info for healthy living after 50, make sure you sign up for our free newsletter. The link's right there for you.
Definitely do that. Okay, let's jump in. First, potentially tricky pair. Vitamin C and vitamin B12. Both sound great on their own, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. Vitamin C, brilliant for the immune system, helps with inflammation. It's a great antioxidant, protects our cells.
And B12.
Yeah.
Crucial, I know.
Hmm.
Especially as we get older.
Hugely important. Nerve function, making red blood cells, keeping our minds sharp, and, our ability to absorb B12 from food naturally declines with age, so getting enough becomes even more critical.
So you'd think, great, I'll take them together, boost everything, maybe wash down my B12 pill with some OJ.
Ah, well, that's where the potential issue lies. Taking high doses of vitamin C, particularly at the same time as B12, and especially on an empty stomach, it seems it can actually block B12 absorption.
Block it. How? Why would it do that?
It seems to be about the acidity. A big hit of vitamin C makes your digestive tract quite acidic, and that acidic environment can apparently degrade or neutralize the B12 before your body can grab onto it.
Wow. So that healthy morning habit might actually be counterproductive.
It might be, yeah, you're taking the B12, but maybe not absorbing it properly because of the C you took right alongside it.
Okay, so what happens long term if you're not absorbing your B12? I imagine the effects are kind of subtle at first.
Very often, yes. It's insidious. You might feel this ongoing fatigue you just can't shake, or maybe some tingling numbness in your hands or feet, difficulty concentrating, memory lapses, things like that. And the really concerning part is, if a B12 deficiency goes unchecked for too long, it can lead to nerve damage, sometimes irreversible damage.
And those symptoms, the fatigue, the memory stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, how easy is it to just brush those off as, oh, I'm just getting older?
Incredibly easy. It's unsettling to think our supplement routine could be playing a part without us realizing.
So what's the fix? Is it complicated?
Thankfully, no. It's really just about smart timing. Don't take them together. Simple as that.
Okay.
Try to space out your vitamin C and B12 intake by at least, say, 2 hours.
So maybe B12 with breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. And then have your vitamin C supplement or even just some citrus fruit, maybe around lunchtime.
Got it. A simple tweak makes a big difference. Okay, moving on. What about copper and zinc? Another pair that seems essential.
They really are. Copper is vital for energy, making collagen, good for skin and joints and immune support too.
And zinc, we hear a lot about that for immunity.
We do. Zinc's key for wound healing, hormone balance, and yeah, definitely immune function. So again, you look at them individually and think, these must be great together.
But I sense another but coming.
There is one. Copper and zinc basically fight for the same parking spot in your digestive system. They compete for absorption.
Ah, okay. And who usually wins that fight?
Zinc tends to be the stronger competitor. So if you're taking higher doses of zinc, maybe for that immune boost, especially long term.
It could stop you from absorbing enough copper.
Precisely. You can inadvertently create a copper deficiency. And it's worth noting the typical diet often has more zinc than copper anyway, so this competition is relevant even before high-dose supplements.
So what would low copper look like? What are the signs?
It can show up in a few ways.
Yeah.
That persistent fatigue again,
Yeah.
maybe unexplained anemia, feeling cold all the time. Some people get brittle bones, joint issues. And because copper helps use iron, it can affect red blood cells too.
And again, those symptoms,
Hmm,
fatigue, joints, easily mistaken for just aging.
exactly the problem. You might not connect the dots back to your supplement balance.
So how do we handle taking both copper and zinc then?
Again, timing is your friend. Take them at different times, space them out by at least 2 hours.
Like the C and B12.
Just like that. And if you are taking higher zinc doses regularly, it's really smart to talk to your doctor or nutritionist.
To make sure you're getting enough copper.
Yeah, to get that balance right. They might even suggest alternating days for taking each one.
What about those multivitamins? Lots of them have both zinc and copper.
That's true. Usually the amounts in a multi are lower than if you were taking them separately, but it's still something to be aware of.
Good point.
Check the label, see what the amounts are, and, mention it to your doctor, especially if you have other concerns or take other minerals. Needs change as we age.
Always best to check. Okay, third combo, Ginkgo biloba and omega-3s. Both popular for brain health, heart health.
Big concerns for our audience.
Absolutely
Yeah.
top of mind. Ginkgo's known for helping blood flow to the brain, good for memory, clarity, sometimes used for dizziness, tinnitus too.
And omega-3s. Fish oil, usually.
Yep. Great for inflammation, heart health, vision, brain function. Really beneficial on their own for many older adults.
So where's the danger when you mix these two seemingly helpful supplements?
Here's the critical part. Both Ginkgo and omega-3s have a blood-thinning effect. They make your blood less likely to clot.
So doubling up on blood thinners.
Essentially, yes. And while a mild blood-thinning effect might be okay or even intended sometimes, combining two potent ones without supervision, that significantly increases the risk of bleeding.
Bleeding, like serious bleeding.
It can be, yeah. Not just easy bruising. We're talking potential for gastrointestinal bleeding, excessive bruising from minor bumps, or even, though rare, bleeding in the brain.
Wow, that's scary. And the risk is even higher if you're already on prescription blood thinners, things like warfarin, aspirin, clopidogrel. Even simple procedures like dental work could become riskier.
That's a crucial point, especially if you're managing other conditions with meds.
Exactly. And remember, just because they're natural doesn't mean they're automatically safe together or safe with your prescriptions. Natural doesn't equal harmless here.
So the bottom line, if someone's thinking about taking both Ginkgo and omega-3s,
Talk to your doctor, period. Absolutely essential. Do not start combining them on your own.
especially if you have procedures planned or take other meds.
Definitely. If your doctor thinks it might be okay, they'll need to monitor you closely. Checking clotting factors, adjusting doses, regular checkups, it's serious business.
Really drives home the need to keep your doctor informed about all supplements.
Oh,
Okay, number 4, magnesium and calcium. Bone health superstars, right?
they are. Calcium, everyone knows, strong bones, teeth, helps prevent osteoporosis. Crucial as we age.
And magnesium. Maybe less famous, but still important.
Hugely important. It's involved in nerve signals, muscle relaxation, think cramps, blood sugar control, even heart rhythm. Very busy mineral.
Seems like they should work well together then. For bones and muscles.
They do work together in the body, but with supplements, it's all about the balance. If you take way too much calcium compared to magnesium,
Let me guess. It interferes with the magnesium.
you got it. Too much calcium can block magnesium absorption. They compete for those same pathways in the gut again.
So calcium wins that fight too, like zinc with copper.
Often, yes. Calcium tends to dominate. So even if you think you're getting enough magnesium, if your calcium intake, especially from supplements, is really high, you might not be absorbing it well.
Leading to a magnesium deficiency without realizing it.
Exactly. And low magnesium can cause things like muscle cramps, that persistent fatigue again, twitching, weakness, even irregular heartbeats, and potentially a higher risk of heart disease long term. And once more, these symptoms are easy to mistake for just, aging.
It really hammers home how interconnected everything is. Okay, so how do we supplement calcium and magnesium safely?
Aim for a good ratio. Experts often suggest around a 2-to-1 ratio of calcium to magnesium, or even less calcium relative to magnesium. So like 1,000 milligram calcium, Maybe aim for 400, 500 milligram magnesium.
And timing. Take them separately.
That's usually best. Spacing them out helps avoid that direct competition. Maybe calcium with breakfast, magnesium with dinner, or something like that.
Check the labels on multis and bone formulas too.
Absolutely. Check that ratio. Some formulas might be heavy on the calcium without enough magnesium to balance it for your needs.
Got it. Ratio and timing. Okay, next up. The fat-soluble vitamins, D, E, and K. We know we need fat to absorb these.
Correct. All fat soluble, so taking them with meals containing healthy fats is key for absorption, and they each do vital jobs.
D for calcium absorption, bones, immunity.
Yep. E is the antioxidant, protecting cells, and K is crucial for blood clotting, but also for keeping calcium out of arteries and putting it in bones. Super important.
So, since they all need fat, maybe take them all together with a fatty meal. Seems efficient.
Logically, yes. But there's a potential snag if you're taking high doses of vitamin D and vitamin E together.
Okay, what's the snag?
They can actually compete with vitamin K for absorption. They sort of elbow vitamin K out of the way on the transport routes into your system.
So lots of D and E could mean less K gets absorbed.
That's the concern, yes. High levels of D and E might hinder vitamin K absorption and utilization.
And what happens if you're low on K?
Well, firstly, blood clotting can be impaired, more bruising, bleeding. But also, remember, K helps direct calcium. If K is low, calcium might end up depositing in arteries.
Not good for heart health.
Not good at all.
Right.
It could increase the risk of both bone loss and cardiovascular disease over time.
Wow, another unexpected interaction. How do we manage D, E, and K then?
Timing, again, space them out, at least a couple of hours apart.
So maybe D with breakfast.
E at lunch, K with dinner, something like that schedule. And crucially, make sure each of those meals has some healthy fat, avocado, olive oil, nuts, seeds, fish.
Spread them out, always with fat. Makes sense. Okay, number 6, vitamin C and iron. Now wait, I thought C helped iron absorption.
You're right, it does. Especially for non-iron, the kind in plants and most supplements, vitamin C is great for boosting absorption if someone is deficient.
So where's the danger?
The danger comes with excessive vitamin C combined with iron. It can boost iron absorption too much, leading to potentially unsafe levels, iron overload.
Iron overload, what does that do?
Our bodies aren't great at getting rid of excess iron, so it can build up in organs, liver, heart, pancreas.
Oh dear.
And over time, that can cause serious damage. Liver disease, heart problems, hormone issues, increased oxidative stress. It's especially risky for people with hemochromatosis, a genetic condition where they absorb too much iron anyway.
So for some people, adding lots of C to their iron could be really harmful. What's a safe approach?
First things first, get your iron levels tested. Don't just start taking iron.
Find out if you actually need it.
Exactly. If you do need it, then yes, pairing it with a moderate amount of vitamin C under your doctor's guidance can help. But stick to recommended doses. Don't megadose C with iron.
Check multivitamins too.
Definitely. See if they contain both and if the levels are right for you. Talk to your doctor.
Good advice. Avoid self-prescribing high doses. Okay, last one on the risky list. Calcium and iron. We know calcium interferes with magnesium. Does it mess with iron too?
It certainly can, yes. Calcium and iron also compete for absorption in the gut.
And calcium wins again.
Calcium often inhibits iron absorption quite significantly. So if you take your iron pill with a glass of milk or a calcium supplement,
You won't absorb much of the iron.
likely not nearly as much as you need, especially if you're taking iron because you're deficient.
Okay. And the signs of poor iron absorption or deficiency. We've touched on fatigue.
Yes, fatigue is a big one. Shortness of breath, feeling cold, especially hands and feet, pale skin, dizziness, general weakness, classic signs of anemia.
And again, easily dismissed.
Right. So how to take them? Simple rule. Never take calcium and iron at the same time.
Space them out.
And
By how much?
at least 2 hours apart, minimum.
Okay. When's best for iron?
Ideally, iron on an empty stomach for best absorption. Or maybe with a little vitamin C, remembering our earlier chat about moderation.
Right.
If it upsets your stomach, try it with a small meal that's low in calcium. Calcium supplements, on the other hand, are usually best taken with food.
Separate them by at least 2 hours. Got it. So the big takeaway seems to be timing.
And balance, yes. It's all about understanding these interactions.
Now, it's not all bad news, right? Are there combinations that actually work well together? Synergistic pairs?
Oh, absolutely. Plenty of those. For instance, vitamin D and vitamin K2 are a brilliant team. D helps you absorb calcium, right? K2 then acts like a traffic cop, directing that calcium into your bones and teeth and keeping it out of your arteries. great for bone and heart health.
Nice. What else?
Vitamin D and magnesium. We mentioned magnesium competes with calcium, but it actually helps vitamin D. Magnesium is needed to convert D into its active form in the body.
So magnesium helps you use the vitamin D you take.
Exactly. Helps unlock its potential. And then, as we said, fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, K, take them with fat.
Right.
And vitamin E plus omega-3s can be good for inflammation, heart, brain, but remembering that caution needed for anyone on blood thinners.
Always that caveat. Okay, this has been incredibly enlightening. It really shows that just because something is good on its own doesn't mean mixing it randomly is safe or effective.
That's the absolute key takeaway. You have to be mindful. Nutrient competition, reduced absorption, potential side effects, they're all real possibilities when you combine things without thinking it through.
So for everyone listening, maybe take a fresh look at your supplement lineup. That handful of pills you take, are they truly working together for you?
Could they be working against you? That's a fair question. And the most important step, talk to your doctor or a registered dietitian.
Before starting anything new, before combining things?
Especially if you have underlying conditions or take medications, get personalized advice. It's crucial.
Couldn't agree more. We really hope this deep dive has given you some valuable food for thought, helping you make informed choices for your health as you live well after 50.
And leaves you with this thought. Are your well-intentioned supplement habits truly supporting your health and vitality? Or could they, maybe, be silently working against you? Something to definitely explore with your healthcare provider.